I fell in love with you the first time I looked into you. Them there eyes, well, you got you the sweet way of flirting with. Them there eyes, they make me feel so happy. They make me feel so blue. Falling and no stalling, falling after falling in a great way for you. My heart is thumping 'cause you started something with them there eyes. Said you better watch out, brown eyes, if you wise. 'Cause they sparkle and they bubble. Soon they're gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. Oh, baby, them there eyes. A bit-a-loo-da-ba-da-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-ba-da-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-loo-da-bit-a-l
Most of the singing that we done was on the street corners in South Philadelphia. We used to sing gospel, and then we'd sing rhythm and blues. If we go to a party, we'd sing rhythm and blues. Then somebody would ask us to sing gospel, and then we'd sing gospel. But I finally told them I wasn't going to mix both of them. We was either going to sing one or the other. So I choose rhythm and blues. We started doing that back in, I guess, the late 40s. We'd go out just about every night, and even in the winter. We'd walk the streets and sing every night.
That thing was being done all over every city. You know, they had millions and millions of groups that had formed on the street corners, you know. All the kids had a singing group.
Shelby. Hi, Shelby. Hey, baby. What's the other one, Shel? Woo! 177.
Say nothing to me.
Shelby, you were singing the words? It wasn't. Go on, have a lot of people on this. Down at 25th Street under the bridge, because it had like a echo sound down there. Or we'd go on the fire escape and sing. Or we'd go down in the subway. Now the subway's got a real echo chamber in the subway. Just about every place you went, house party or something, you had a young group in there singing. And most of the groups was trying to imitate one of the groups they heard records of, like the Orioles or the Dominoes or the Ravens. Well, we were imitating mostly the Orioles because I liked the way Sonny Till sang, and I tried to mock Sonny Till. You know, if Sonny made the girls scream, I made them scream too. Does she love me? It's too soon to know, and I Hey, when she said, leave me so I need she's fooling.
Well, in 1954, I was discharged from the service. Came home and met up with the fellows again. And we started singing around. And Reverend Tamlin heard about us, and he wanted to listen at us. And we went to him, and he arranged some songs for us, and he took us to New York. But nothing came out of it, so we dropped him. And then we heard about this fellow named Mr. Gillespie. And we went down, and we sang for him. And he's the first one who got us on a wax label.
With all the independent record labels out there, groups had a bigger chance because recordings were very, very inexpensive during that time. Studio time could get $20 an hour. So you spend a few hours for $45. Remember, you could get a record. And there were a lot of independent promoters and record labels out here who were begging for acts. It is not true now because there's a list that the jockeys play from, you know, and it's not as easy as it was then. Back then, my goodness, everybody had a shot.
We had been to war, and we came back, and we were looking, like, well, I had, it was me, 40 years, 8 months, and 25 days had passed, and I wanted to get started. And to tell the truth, I was a little impatient. And then when we left, we quit the Paragons and formed the Keystoners. We got that record. And then to go in with a large record company. The first time we went in was with our manager's label, G&M. We were scared to death about what to do. Your first time in there. Now, this large record company heard the record. Columbia's epic. And you went into New York, a whole complete different operation from a small record company. We walk in, the band had never seen us before. All they asked us said, well, do you want it a key high, half a key high, or half a key lower? That's all they asked us. And the record was on its way. You couldn't turn on the radio without hearing it. It was a magic kiss. And we thought that was it. That was the one. We thought we were on our way.
Tell me what's wrong with me. Why must I always bleed for your kiss? Makes my heart beat fast. Don't know if I can last. Cause you are so divine. You drive me out of my mind. If I could hold you tight, squeeze you with all my might. Cause you're the one I miss. And you have got the magic kiss. Oh yes, the magic kiss.
We were wearing tuxedos. We had one that we liked very much. It was the Italian blue silk tuxedo. We were crazy about that. We wore that just about all the time. One time I went to be interviewed on the radio. It's the first time I ever was interviewed. I wore the tux. On the radio, I wore the tux.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime here at the RM Club. All right. Now let's get together and welcome to the bandstand for the first time this evening, South Philadelphia's own Keystoners of the Starbound label. Let's hear it.
Oh, darling, la, 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 la. Could only sleep and dream only in the morning. When I'm not awake, I gotta find say that generation. This is what I've always missed. So when I take you in my arms, and I look into your eyes, and then you tell me, darling, that you're ready to be kissed. Then I awake my heart, I'm filled with sorrow, for I know it'll be the same tomorrow. But one day I know it'll all come true, and I'll sleep forever and only dream of you.
We still don't know what happened. Dick Clark was playing it every day.
In fact, we appeared on Dick Clark's ship singing it. And
It just died.
the record didn't die.
I mean, well,
everybody quit playing
just
it.
stopped playing it.
Right. And people were trying to get it, and the record shops were putting in orders for it and couldn't get it. So we don't know what happened.
I tell you what, me and Alfred, we called all the way to New York to talk to Arnold Maxson, because he was the big wheel there, to talk to him. And he told us, we told him we wanted to sing.
We want to know what was going down.
What was going down? He said he couldn't do nothing for us.
See, he said, I can't have to deal with your
I have
manager.
to deal with your manager. I
So
can't do
that's
nothing.
your manager said, we can't deal with you. We have to deal with your manager.
We're young guys.
We ain't know
nothing.
It was a bit of bad luck. You need a little luck in this business. It's more like being in the right place, right time type of thing. In most show business things, really.
Back when in the 50s when we was singing, now you had the other groups out there, they sit up on pedal stoves. We wanted to get up there too. We wanted to be up there with them groups. We wanted, people to say, hey, I'm buying this guy's record. I'm going to see him at the Uptown, something like that. And, you try so many times and then somebody keep pushing you back. And once we did a TV show, we just know we had it made then. And then when that got closed out of, I think nobody said nothing about rehearsal or nothing. And we figured we'd make enough money out of there that we could live off of singing and the records. And when we got shot down, I don't know. Let's just say everybody lost interest. When the group broke up, I kept my job at Horn and Hardage. Then I went to Mrs. Paul's to work for a while. Then I became a federal meat inspector. Major worked for Horn and Hardage for a while, but then he became a metal cutter. Our first base schooler, he became a mechanic, but he died in the 70s. Tommy used to sing with us too in the 50s. He became a contract painter and a security guard. Alfred, he kept his job with the post office. In 57, the group just drifted apart. We just stopped singing. And we'd get together and talk about reuniting. And we'd maybe sing that night, but that was the end of that. We never really got back together again until 83. Yeah, I had a good brainstorm today for a good song. I think it's going to be in the right tempo, right beat and everything. Now the thing is to get the words together. If I can keep the melody in my head. If you don't let me forget it. You go in the house and get popsicles today. Go ahead. Yes, I'm in love with you. Darling, I swear it's true. 'Cause there's no one else in this world can do what you do to my heart when I thought it was all over and I was at an end. You came along and then you started my heart to beat again. That's all I got. Where could I go after that? This is now. See, this is what works on. This is when I use up a lot of paper, trying to make up that second verse. You set a fire in my heart, and from the very start, I knew that I was falling so helplessly in love with you. There you go. Hold it. I gotta write this down. Okay? I don't want to forget. I never stop writing songs. I got a loose leaf book full of them. You know, you never did nothing with them. I just kept right on writing. I think I have about 25 in the book, the nameless. In the briefcase, I've got about 30, 35 that I'm letting rest till I get all these on tape and all the sheet music for these. Then I'll go back and get them and do them. I go back every now and then, and I might do maybe 30 of them, and I'll glance through them and start humming them, and the melody will come back. I got it. But it came so. I think I got it. I knew you stole my heart right from the very start. I knew right then that I was falling hopelessly in love with you. The joy that you were bringing started my heart to singing. I don't know how or when, but you started my heart to beat again. Easy, ain't it? One of the reasons why I've had a lot of girlfriends is because I'm a singer, because I'm on the stage. And ain't that much talking I do to them. I let my eyes talk most of the time. So now I don't stare at a girl long enough. Just don't stare at her, but every now and then you glance at her, be looking at her when she look at you, turn your head or something like that. Yeah. And she'll ask you, what's the matter with you? What you thinking about? Okay. You tell them. Thinking about you, honey. They tell you, "Oh, get out of here." Oh, yes, it is. I just going home tonight and write a song about you, baby. Hey, that gets them. It might be a song I already wrote. Most of the lyrics of my songs are about love, like The Magic Kiss. That was wrote for Irene. After I Proposed was for Thelma. It was a girl, I wrote that for a girl I was going with. And I thought we would have gotten married, but we didn't. You know that I love you, darling. I love you so. So don't let go. I love you, know. Just like that. After I propose, please don't make me.
Oh, Lord. Sing it all you want to know.
Got it. Do it.
Won't you please that you'll be my wife? And you will love me the rest of your life. After I propose, I have the ring. Dear, can't you see? So won't you play your part? I love you so.
Go ahead.
Let me slip it on your finger.
How we got back together again was I was calling around for some records that we had made in the 50s, and we didn't have it. None of us had any of them. So I saw in the newspaper about Val Shively's record shop up Derby, and so I called them, and to my surprise, they had every record we made. Well, just about every record we made.
Hi, kids.
Busy.
Hi, youngster.
Busy. I like that, youngster. Yeah.
You like that, huh? You got a few more years left. You got for 10 more singles.
10 more.
How you guys doing?
All right.
Hanging in there?
Yeah. Yeah, we got something coming up the 3rd.
Yeah, that's good.
The next morning, I got a call from Johnny Moore, who was a disc jockey on WXPN along with Charlie Horner. They were partners. And Johnny Moore asked us if we'd be interested in getting back together again and doing a show for him. They gave us a standing ovation when we walked on stage before we opened our mouths. And I can't say, I'd like to say that we did a hell of a show, but...
Sure can't say that.
He was rehearsing every night.
And, you know,
And
some
I mean,
mistake we made to jump up after 20 years.
4 hours
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah,
But by the time you got
mistake.
there, we didn't ruin our voice.
Okay.
So you come up with do another original song?
Yeah, okay.
Up tempo if possible.
Right, that's what we
Yeah.
assumed. Yeah, that's
They
what we
sell
thought
better.
about. Yeah.
And then the B-side we use that, the Christmas song.
Okay.
That's nice. All right?
Right, good
So
idea
Come
then.
up with something, but do a fast thing.
Yeah. Right.
All right. To critique the records in one thing I could say about them, and that is that they're too long. There is no market for these records today. I'm telling you. I mean, you're going to say, but 7 people in the bar down there would buy it if it was available. The truth is that these records are meant for people that grew up in the 50s. They only sell to people that grew up in the 50s, and 50s people don't want to hear 5 minutes of a record. They want to hear 3 minutes. They want to hear 2 minutes and 15 seconds, really.
So we're not looking to get rich anymore, but we're having fun singing. Now it's more or less a sideline. And it's not the main thing like it was before. Before, we'd run through a brick wall for a break, Now, if it comes, okay. If it doesn't, okay,
Waited so long.
Yeah.
But now, like in '83, we singing again. Everybody still got their job. We don't figure we need to be a star no more. We don't quite naturally. Everybody needs money, but we don't need no pile of money like you would get back like then. And we don't need to be grandstanding no more to be a star. We still have our jobs. And we're still singing and having a good time.
And the people are different now. They're older, they're married, a lot of them. But like in the 50s, they would like come up and grab your clothes or something like that, or snatch your bow tie, or no, they don't. Don't do that. They'll come up and kiss you. That's what they'll do now. They come up and kiss you.
Yes, I'm in love with you, darling, I swear it's true. Okay. Because there's no one else in this whole world can do what you... That's going to be a rough note. Fast or slower?
I like the way you got it, the tempo.
Yes, I'm in love with you, darling, I swear it's true. Because there's no one else in this whole world can do what you do to my heart. When I thought it was over, keep it, drop that note like you did the other one.
All right,
when I thought it was over, that's the same note.
Do it again.
Somehow you stole my heart right from the very start, and then I knew. Hold it. Yes, I'm in love with you, darling, I swear it's true. Because there's no one else in this whole world can do what you do to my heart. When I thought it was over, and I was at my end, you came along, and then you started my heart to beat again. Somehow you stole my heart right from the very start, and then I knew that I was falling hopelessly in love with you. the joy only you can bring. Started my heart to sing. I don't know how or when, but you started my heart to beat again. Don't say a word, just think it over for a moment or two. Listen to the vibes of my heart telling you how much it loves you with the feeling that's in your heart. Try to hear just what might have to say, that if this romance don't stand a chance, for me there'll never be another happy day. I'll let you keep my heart, you say we'll never part. The love I have for you will stay true, my love, till the end of time. Let this romance begin. Let all my love come in, and I will never let it end. You started my heart to beat again.
That'll give me y'all.
Yeah, that'll get it. The heartbeat, man. That'll get it. A heart.
All right, I'll put that in there.
Pow!
Stay tuned for an inspiring profile of a powerfully diverse woman, Josephine Baker, Chasing the Rainbow, coming up next here on TV-12.
Falling, just no stalling. I'm falling, yes, I'm falling in the gravy way for you. A bit of the body, 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 a bit of them there eyes. I forgot to never see your eyes. You keep yours closed all the time. Never see your eyes. That was closed. Yeah.